So I'm here to troubleshoot my CTU concept. So hopefully you've been able to see the video where I get very excited about the missing ingredient for all autism interventions, or interventions with kids really in general, is this piece of really connecting with children and allowing time for their attention to shift, to be truly curious about you, which is when you're going to feel the most connected. And when in my last video I talk about, being able to sit next to your child or a child or person or adult, your spouse, and being able to allow and wait for that shift in attention to happen, so that you have true joint attention. Now, I know through talking to people who, once they start trying it, they run into some problems. And so I want to give you an additional tip, and that's to use the concept of tension, which is actually an early developmental concept, where if you think about when you're pulling a baby up from, they're laying on their back and they're learning to sit up for the first time, you do some of the work, but you don't do all of it. And the child uses the tension that you provide of not doing it for them, but you give enough tension that they learn over time to be able to sit up on their own. And that concept you can use across the board in so many different situations. And really, it's something that we do every day in our conversations. If you put your hand out, for example, to anyone, their inclination is to take your hand. Or if you hand a pen to someone, their inclination is to take that pen. And so I want you to think of that idea of tension also in a way to be able to spotlight yourself in the interaction with your child, to create a moment where they're truly curious about you and it's meaningful. So you are super well-meaning, you're in the right framework, you're mindful, you're relaxed, you sit next to the person that you're trying to connect or get joint attention with, and they ignore you. So that's super common. They stay focused on whatever they're focused on. You sit there and you go, okay, so now what? So that's what I want to just bring in, this idea of tension for you for troubleshooting. So sometimes it could be a hand on a shoulder, although sometimes, especially children with autism, they might think that you want something, you're going to take something away. They have habits drawn. So some kids, you put a hand on their shoulder and they'll just shrug away and they'll stay focused. Kids and people in general might do that. So sometimes it can also be that you start playing next to them. So creating something that allows them to shift their curiosity to you. You might have to do something. You might have to act silly. You may have to pretend you're falling over. You may need to lean into them until they go, "Why are you leaning into me?" And "Oh, hi." And they have this shift of attention. So my favorite one with verbal children is to talk really slowly and say hello, because then the normal rate of speech sounds different. Why are you sounding different? The curiosity shift is there. Another one is to stutter. So I want your attention, or I like what you're doing. Could be all that you add to the moment of gaining that joint attention, that CTU, curiosity to you, that brings that true connection for you to then be able to use all your wonderful teaching techniques, parenting techniques, communication techniques. So along with sprinkling in CTU throughout your day, I want you, if you are having trouble, bring in this idea of tension. Okay? Good luck. Let me know how it goes. Bye.